Welcome to the Skillful She podcast, where we navigate soft skills for women. This is your sanctuary, where empowerment meets real world strategies. I am your host, Lucy Macridis, and this is season 7, where we consider becoming her in wholeness. And I am joined by my fellow coach, Coach Kabeyu, Katuga.
Yes.
Hi, Coach.
Hello, Coach Lucy.
She's from ReInventHer. And you will have remembered her from episode 1, where we talked about reclaiming that vision. And in that episode, she left us with a few nuggets to consider. In fact, the one that I was taking away was the stop, the catch, and the change. But a bit more of that later. It's about reclaiming your vision. So today is a good day to start there. In this particular episode, we are going to consider the silent revolution of self-worth. And self-worth is a big thing. Coach Kabeyu,
Yes.
I'm curious to know where it is that women silently abandon their self-worth.
Good one. When they settle for men that they know they have no business being with.
Well, you had to go there, all right?
Women settle or abandon themselves in situations where they know. We silently abandon ourselves in the office or workspace, where we settle for roles that we know are not for us, or sometimes even the salaries that are being offered on the table. We settle for friendships that don't align with us. We settle for chaos over peace because we do not want to disturb the peace. And what I mean by that is basically there is chaos that does not align with you, but you do not want to ruffle people's feathers. So instead of walking away from this chaos, you maintain it because you want to be accepted. So quietly, that is how we usually, abandon ourselves.
It's so unfortunate that even as you point these out, they're already ringing true for me, because I have seen it across the table as a coach, where we end up abandoning our own self-worth at a very high cost. And I want to believe that these are things that we are telling ourselves, Coach Kabeyu.
Absolutely.
Because why are we arriving at that point of that self-worth? Because as we're talking about abandoning our worth, we are spiraling. So it is embracing negative self-worth. We're not talking about positive self-worth here.
Yes.
So I want to believe that it is informed by something.
It's definitely informed by something. And actually, it is informed. It's usually something that we have had previously.
Something we have heard previously?
Yes.
Like what?
It's informed by things that you had maybe growing up. Because it's not really about the feelings.
Yeah.
Feelings might play a role, but usually it is about the standards that you have for yourself. It's about what you tolerate. And this has stemmed from what we've had. For example, if you were told you are not good enough.
Yeah.
Yes, as a child, it becomes your narrative. Have I gone off tangent?
No, you haven't.
Okay.
No, you've just told us it's not so much about feelings.
Yes, it's more about what you tolerate.
Yes.
Yes, and what you tolerate is usually influenced by things that you've had previously.
Yeah.
So maybe you grew up in a space where the teachers told you you're not smart enough. Your parents told you you're not good enough. And then they had evidence to show you this. So that already played a role in your self-worth. So you now have shown up in the world and you're almost performing for no Oscars.
Yes,
unfortunately.
But then you've had good practice, because as you have been growing up, it has been reinstated and reaffirmed in you, because everything that you saw, you had already told yourself a certain narrative that you were not good enough anyway.
Yes.
You were not good enough.
You believed it.
Yeah, you believed
you had it.
Yeah.
And you had it again, and then now it became your narrative. So now you choose to settle in situations as opposed to choosing them. because you don't think you have another choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Where are you settling? Where is it that you're settling? In fact, let me ask a better question. Where is it that you can choose a narrative? Because in that place where you can choose a narrative, it's not very far away from the place where you are already settling. And how would you feel now that you're choosing? It's something, it's like walking into a shop and choosing something, picking because it's what you want. You're picking it, not that now you're settling because when you walked in, everything was sold out. So now you just pick what there was. I don't know whether that analogy is going to help for it to sink the power of choice over settling. And this is where we are silently abandoning our self-worth. And therefore, I have a follow-up question for Coach Kabeyu. How can we rewrite this narrative? This narrative of, by default, just settling, and rewrite it so that now we are choosing. What needs to shift?
First of all, is to remember we are not dust, so we do not settle.
That's a story for another day. But okay, we are not dust, so we do not settle.
We do not settle.
I think that was a commercial break.
Yes. Just to throw it in there.
Yes.
But how to change the narrative, basically, is to first recognize that, or hear it for yourself in your head.
How do I hear it for myself? Remember, we are silently abandoning the self-worth. So that internal dialogue is very quiet. I mean, Coach, how am I going to hear myself? There's so much distraction going on in there.
Absolutely.
On the negative self-worth.
Yes.
How am I separating it so I can hear it?
There are decisions that you're making, or there are choices that you're making, right? That are leading you to abandon your self-worth. For example, as we said, you have opted to settle for this man for whatever reason. You have opted to take this salary for whatever reason. You have opted to be in these chaotic situations for whatever reason.
Or these friendships that we have for whatever reason.
And each choice is you abandoning your self-worth. So the question is, why am I doing this, right? And it is informed by something that is going on, something that you can hear in your head, even if it's silent, but there is something that's informing the choices or the decisions you're making to settle as opposed to choosing.
So how do I add this volume, Coach? I'm trying to understand how I will hear myself saying it, for want of a better way, so that I hear myself saying it, if that makes sense.
I think when you are in the situations where you're choosing to abandon your self-worth, and if you do not know what it looks like, or rather if you don't know that you're abandoning your self-worth, is always pay attention. Am I choosing or am I settling? What is motivating me?
We are back there again.
Yes, what is motivating this decision?
Yes.
Is it fear? Is it the desire to be accepted? Or it's because this is what I actually want? This is what is aligned with who I am or who I'm becoming. So now you pay attention to the decisions. And usually when you're settling is, as much as it might be silent, it comes with some friction. You feel it internally. You're just like, I have to do this again. I have to be with this guy. I have to take this salary. You feel some form of friction. And that should now be your telltale sign that this is not a choice. This is not something that's aligned with what you desire. Because when you 100% know that this is what you want, there will be no resistance, no friction.
I agree with you, by the way.
So I agree.
I agree. So help me now to rewrite this narrative in my head so that I am no longer settling, but I am choosing.
So by recognizing, now this was you now being able to, because as we said, awareness is the doorway to your transformation, right?
We did.
So now you are becoming aware, this is why I'm feeling resistance. This is why I'm feeling some form of friction. It's because this is not motivated by something that's aligned with me. This is me wanting acceptance, wanting to maintain status quo, and all that. This is me in performance mode.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Now, once you ask yourself the question, why?
Yeah.
Sit down with it.
Yes.
Here are the things that are coming up for you.
Yeah.
It's because there's no other man talking to me, so I guess this is the best I can do.
Yeah.
It's because, Ruto's economy, so this is the best I can do in terms of jobs or salaries.
Yes.
Then now we can switch the narrative from there.
I love it. You're
Now,
reminding me of what we go through as coaches.
Yes.
When we have our clients before us and we have these conversations, because coaching is a conversation,
Yes.
and we invite them in that stage of awareness to tell us what is going on in their life. And then we repeat it.
Yes.
We mirror it. We reflect it. And somebody sits back and says, that's not what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
This is them hearing their own words.
Yes.
Because as coaches, we take the words and we serve them back to you. And you hear yourself.
And you're just like,
and you're
what?
Like,
That's my thought process. I hadn't realized.
Yeah, and that is your thought. So from there, then we move into the other stage of coaching.
Yes.
So you've just pointed out something that we need to be doing consciously. Mm-hmm. And that is listen to ourselves for those telltale signs. I've always said that our body responds in a way and it tells us. Our body speaks to us. We just need loudly. We just need to pay attention.
Yes.
Okay, so we have rewritten these narratives. What boundaries then are there that can be used to reinforce healthy self-worth? Because we've covered how the negative one looks and how it responds in our body. So what boundaries could you give us?
I have 4 at the top of my mind that I feel would be important for any human being to have to protect their self-worth.
All right.
For lack of a better statement. And the first one is time boundary.
Time boundary.
Your time is not for everyone. You cannot be overbooked. You know, your weekends are not yours because you're split between chamas and branch and rurashios and so on and so forth. That rest becomes a rare jewelry, you know, a rarity in your life. You know, it's a luxury for you.
Yes.
You spread yourself thin. So time boundaries, being able to protect it and only extend it where it is necessary, right? Number 2 is emotional boundaries. It is not your responsibility to carry other people's emotions.
Hey, it is not your responsibility to carry other people's emotions. Yes. We're talking about boundaries, boundaries that can reinforce positive self-worth.
Yes. So recognizing that, because sometimes we're making these decisions because we are more concerned about the other person's emotions. I can't leave him because, I can't quit this job because, and so on and so forth. I can't
break up this relationship with a friend because.
Yes, I can't, stand up for myself. I can't speak up because, and now we are in performance mode. So recognizing that you are responsible for your emotions and other adults are responsible for their emotions. And sometimes their emotions might not be presented in a positive way, but that's theirs. Concern yourself more with your emotions. How do you feel? Is this relationship aligned to your values? Is this salary finally going to get you the fulfillment you're desiring? Are these friendships breaking you or making you? Those are the emotions, or that's the conversation you need to be having with yourself, not concerning yourself with, if I leave this friendship, they won't survive. Are you oxygen?
So those are 2 boundaries.
Yes, then we have financial boundaries. Yes, we put ourselves in situations where maybe we accept certain salaries that do not align to where we have gotten in our careers.
Yes.
If you're in business, you have put out a quotation that is way beneath the market rate and way beneath the value you're going to put on the table because you do not think that you deserve any more. So being able to put up those boundaries so that you're being paid what you deserve, paid what you're worth. When it comes to, for example, with families, in an African context, a lot of us are paying black tax. Being able to stand up and say, hey guys, I have my own responsibilities. This is the most I can do to support you. So having those boundaries. So we've said time, emotion, and financial.
Okay.
And then we have our last one, which is energy. Look at you.
Oh, yeah, I'm on a roll here. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll.
As the young people say, clock.
Yes, I learned this the other day. Okay.
Yes.
Energy.
So your energy is your most valued, prized possession.
Is it?
It determines everything. So it is important, it is prudent for it to be protected. And if you do not know how to protect your energy, let's make it simple. Protecting your energy is protecting your peace. Does it take away from your peace? It's too expensive.
I love that.
In every facet of life, whether it's in a family situation, in a business situation, relationship, whatever it is, if it is chipping away from your peace, it is too much. And that is the fastest way to know that your boundaries when it comes to energy have been broken or being stepped on.
Wow. Yeah. So these are boundaries we need to be putting in. She's mentioned 4 of them, from finance to energy to time to emotion. And you know, this month of February that we have just come to the end of has been about self-love and self-worth. It is my prayer that in this month you would actually practice self-love and self-worth for yourself. But just because February has come to an end does not mean that when we start the next month, we cannot jump onto boundaries that would reinforce this positive self-worth. Well, there you've heard it from Coach Kabeyu as we are looking at the silent revolution of self-worth. Let's flip the script and let's have it from a place that is reinforcing it for you. Well, I would say to you, keep cultivating your soft skills. And remember that on this journey, you are not alone. We rise by leading ourselves first, and then we can lift somebody else. Well, until episode 3 with Coach Kabeyu, this is Lucy, your Clarity Coach, signing off.